Hello, everyone. This is Luciv Kaiser again, with another Civilization 6 District Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be talking about the Industrial Zone. So let's go into it. So the base effects are kind of split between Gathering Storm and the Vanilla slash Rise and Fall. So I'll just go over the base sort of vanilla stuff first. So first, the standard bonus. So +1 production for each adjacent mine or quarry, and then minor bonuses plus half production for each adjacent district. And then +1 great engineer points per turn lowers the appeal of nearby tiles, and the effect of some buildings, example factory and power plant, extend to other cities within 6 tiles of the industrial zone. So you have to be kind of strategic about where you want to put the industrial zone so that you can maximize this benefit, so you don't need to build additional industrial zones to get the extra production. And specialists provide 2+2 production each. Um, and for Gathering Storm, the main thing is that the bonuses have changed. So there's instead a major bonus, so +2 production for each adjacent aqueduct, dam, canal, or bath, and a standard bonus for +1 production for each adjacent strategic resource and quarry. Then minor half production bonuses for each adjacent district tile, mine, or lumber mill. And then the rest is sort of the same. So great engineer points, lowers appeal, and the extending the effect to other cities within 6 tiles. Restrictions for industrial zones is not applicable. It doesn't really have any restrictions. You kind of can place it anywhere as long as it's like not on a mountain or anything or in the sea. um, but you also want to keep in mind those adjacency bonuses. It's unlocked by apprenticeship, and production cost is 54, and the maintenance is 1 gold. Now on to the Tier 1 building. Tier 1 building for the industrial zone is the workshop. Its effects are +2 production, and Gathering Storm, it's changed to 3 production. +1 citizen slot, and +1 great engineer point per turn. Again, no restrictions besides otherwise having the industrial zone down. It's unlocked by apprenticeship, so you can pop it down once you get the industrial zone up. And then production cost is 195 and maintenance of 1 gold. So this building is pretty good. It gives you a little bump in production, which is not too shabby, but the better effects are from the later buildings for sure. So on to the Tier 2 building. So the Tier 2 building is the factory. Its effects are +3 production to all cities within 6 tiles, as we mentioned before, and +1 citizen slot, +1 great engineer point per turn. And then Gathering Storm, the effects have been changed. So now it's +3 production, again, to all to cities within 6 tiles, but you get additional +3 production, so a maximum of +6 in total when powered. Um, and then the power requirement is 2 power. Um, and it gives you +1 citizen slot and +1 great engineer point per turn. The restrictions are, of course, you need a workshop, and it's unlocked by industrialization. Production cost is 390, and it was reduced to 330 for Gathering Storm. The maintenance is 2 gold. Now here's the first Tier 3 building. This is the power plant. This is the building for the vanilla and rise and fall game. So its effects are +4 production. This bonus extends to each city center within 6 tiles from the industrial zone. It also gives you +1 citizen slot, +1 great engineer point per turn, and +4 gold with the third alternative policy. Obviously, it requires the factory. It's unlocked by electricity, has a protection cost of 580, a maintenance of 3 gold, and again, as I said, this is replaced in Gathering Storm by the other power plants. So we'll take a look at those now. So here's the first building, Tier 3 building for Gathering Storm for the industrial zone, is a coal power plant. It's kind of interesting. I didn't really notice this until I actually researched this, but it actually gives you production equal to the district's current adjacency bonus. And these things can be modified by policy cards and stuff. Um, So this is actually pretty significant because like if you have a industrial zone with a high adjacency bonus, it might be more important to keep a coal power plant because you're just going to get more production from it than the other power plants that we're going to look at. So you got to so I would keep this in mind when you're considering switching from coal to oil or something. Gives you +1 citizen slot, +1 production, additionally per specialist in the district, +1 great engineer points per turn, and it has heavy CO2 emissions in that produces CO2 emissions into the atmosphere. So if you're concerned about the climate thing, then you may not want to produce coal power plants for a long time. Restrictions are you acquire a factory. This is unlocked by industrialization. Production cost is 330. The maintenance is 3 gold. Now on to the oil power plant. So it's gives you +3 production. And this bonus extends to all cities within 6 tiles, yada yada. Converts oil into power for the city. Oh, sorry, let's go back 1 second. I forgot to talk about the conversion for coal. So the conversion for coal converts coal power for the city and for city centers within 6 tiles at a conversion rate of 1 coal per 4 power. And now if we're talking about the oil power plant, it's actually kind of the same. So you only get 4 power per 1 oil. And then you get +1 citizen slot, +1 production, additionally per specialist in this district, +1 great engineer point per turn, and only moderate CO2 emissions into the atmosphere. So based on this, like it seems like depending on your adjacency bonus, you may want the coal power plant versus the oil power plant. If you don't have great adjacencies, then maybe you want the oil power plant, and it also gives you less CO2 emissions. And now on to the last one. Tier 3 building nuclear power plant. I think this one's probably the best one to get in the long run because it gives you +4 production, which is pretty great, and +3 science. And the production and science bonuses extend to all city centers. So you get more production and science for all these different cities. And converts uranium to power at a ratio of 1 uranium to 16 power, which is pretty good. So like you're gonna have a lot of power. So you probably don't even need other industrial zones really around to produce this power. And then gives you +1 citizen slot, +1 production, additionally per specialist in this district, +1 great engineer point per turn, and only a minuscule amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. But it does have the risk of running of nuclear accidents as the plant's reactor ages. So you have to make sure to recommission your nuclear reactors every now and then. Again, this requires factory, and it's unlocked by nuclear fission, which is a little later in the tech tree, and production cost is 480. The maintenance is 3 gold. In terms of, I thought I'd talk about also the projects for industrial zone, considering all these different sort of oil conversions and things like that. So I'll just talk about the base project, industrial zone logistics, earns gold equal to 15% of production used, and great engineer points. And Gathering Storm, the city receives full power, great engineer points at completion. So if you want that, whatever. I usually don't do the projects. Other projects are, again, convert to coal power, convert to oil power, convert to nuclear power, recommission nuclear reactor, which you want to do. There's carbon recapture. So this will help lower the CO2 and help fight climate change. So if you're worried about climate change, you can focus on this. And you can always, if you have the climate accords, you can do these other options, which are decommission coal power plant, decommission oil power plant, and decommission nuclear power plant. And that's it for Industrial Zone. Hope you enjoyed this district deep dive. Keep on the lookout for more in the future. Thanks. Bye.